Transient state type. As mentioned before, one of the features of Vebko device and software is relay testing in transient state. To easily access the windows needed for this state type, a layout named Default Layout for Transient is designed specifically for this state, which is located in the Windows menu. This layout includes Detail View, Signal View, Measurement View, Vector View, and Impedance View windows. Here, to have a better view of the Detail View window, all other windows are closed. When a fault occurs, the relay saves the fault information and moments before the fault as a ComTrade file and provide the user with this file. By using this information, it is possible to view impedance or differential trajectory, or by injecting the same transient signal, simulate the fault moment and test the relay performance again. Other than ComTrade file with CFG extension, there is another file with .dot extension. These two files have the same name, and for the ComTrade file to be loaded in the software, both files must be together. In Transient Settings section, the settings related to ComTrade file are adjusted. By selecting Import ComTrade, the ComTrade file exported from the relay is imported and loaded. Moreover, a list including several ComTrade files is located in the software. By selecting Import ComTrade from List option, this list opens and a file can be selected and loaded. After loading a transient file, the data related to that file is loaded in the table of this section. In Signal column, name of the output of the device is specified. To change the outputs of this section, Analog Out tab in the Hardware Configuration page can be used. In Channel column, current or voltage signals allocated to output of the device are displayed. By opening the drop-down field, it is possible to change the allocated signal. In Scale column, the user can determine a specific percentage of the transient signal amplitude for injection. In Min and Max columns, positive and negative amplitudes of signals of ComTrade file are specified. In Prime Factor and Sec Factor columns, the conversion ratio of VTs and CTs is specified in relation to the ComTrade file, and it is possible that values of these coefficients are 1 in some files. In that case, the user needs to edit them. For example, here prime factor is set as 1 kilovoltage, and by right-clicking on this column and selecting Apply to all voltage, this value is set for other voltages as well. In PS column, it is specified that the information of ComTrade is primary or secondary side. If it is primary, in Min and Max columns, the secondary values are placed in prime factor and sec factor in accordance with the given conversion ratio. If secondary is selected, in Min and Max columns, the original values of the files are placed. To calculate the RMS value of the signals of ComTrade file and displaying it in Signal View, with RMS phase and other options should be checked, and then in Setting tab in Show Type box, the RMS radio button is checked. After seeing signal's RMS value, Show Type goes back to the instantaneous state. By checking Select All Channel in Channel column, it is possible to select all voltage and current signals existent in the ComTrade file for outputs of the device, while if this option is unchecked, in the list of every output, it is possible to only select signals from the same type of output. For example, in VL1E output, only voltage signals of the ComTrade file are visible. The reason for the existence of this option is that in some transient files, the unit of signals are not given in voltage and ampere, and the software is not able to differentiate between current and voltage and allocate it to the output of the device. So it is necessary for the user to manually introduce the voltage and current signals to output of the device. If the user wishes to view the waveform of all voltage, current, and digital signals existent in the ComTrade file in Signal View, one should select Current State from the toolbar. Then, from the Setting tab in Signal View, one should select the signals that one wishes to view. But in all state, it is only possible to view the waveform of the outputs of the device in each state and not the waveform of all signals in Signal View. To better analyze the transient signals in Vector View window, it is possible to open up to 5 vector views and view the vector of different signals in different times. Complementary description about Vector View window will be provided in the videos related to this window. If the current and voltage values allocated to the output of the device, which are specified in Max and Min columns, exceeded the allowed injection amount of the device, an error message is recorded in the error section. By selecting the limit voltage and current transient file to setting, the amplitude of these signals are limited to the injectable amount by device. The difference between this option and a scale is that by selecting this option, a part of signal amplitude which is exceeding the allowed amount is cut, but in a scale, only a coefficient is multiplied by signal amplitude and no part of the signal is cut. The name of the ComTrade file is written in File Name section. By selecting File Primary Secondary from Device, the prime factor and sec factor values are entered in the test object page from Device block. And if Field Primary Secondary from ComTrade file is selected, the values of this column are entered from the ComTrade file. In Sampling Rate section, this information related to sampling frequency of the device and ComTrade file is specified. In Original Field, the original value of the signal sampling frequency. In Used Field, the value of used sampling frequency to be displayed in Signal View window, and in Frequency section, the test signal frequency is specified. If the user wishes to apply a part of the transient waveform to the device, one can use the Stream Time section, where its start time is specified in a start time section and the end time is specified in end time section. In this section, when the ComTrade file is loaded, the time value is extracted from the ComTrade file. To inject a part of the transient signal by device, first the current state option should be selected. Then, by activating cursor 1 and cursor 2 in setting of the signal view window, the beginning and the end of the signal is specified. Finally, by clicking on Apply from Track Bars option, the values of cursors are entered automatically. Also, by selecting Reset Time option, these times are reset.